Thanks. Oh. That's the intro I wanted for my very first sermon. And instead, I looked like this. Gosh, I wanted that first sermon to be so good. I was covering 1 Corinthians chapter 13. I was going to talk all about God's love, everything that was important to me, everything wonderful about faith. So I sat down, got on my computer, and immediately went to Facebook, right? And I found this picture. This picture is talking about an African philosophy called Ubuntu. It's one of Stephanie's favorite words. It means I am because we are. It comes from a bigger Zulu phrase that translates something to I am a person through other people. Gosh, how we need that. How we need the power of coming together and making a difference. And coming together and making a difference is exactly what this philosophy has inspired. We talk about the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in South Africa, following the South African apartheid. Or the fight for majority rule voting in Zimbabwe, the issue of freedom and independence in southern Rhodesia. This philosophy has power. And I believe this philosophy has power because it is rooted in love. It could be capital L love, like it is for me. It could be friendship love. It could be anything you need it to be, but love is, in fact, at the center. And I think this is so powerful that is why I'm here this evening to talk to you about what we could do together. Because I believe we do, in fact, have to come together in order to make a difference. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sounds a little crazy. We could have done this already. I agree. But we have this thing that gets in our way. It's called scarcity mindset. This absurd concept that everything good is limited. That everything is limited. And therefore, we have to stuff our pockets and grab extra bags, and next thing you know, we still might not have enough. Friends, scarcity mindset is the opposite of Ubuntu. I think it's a mold that we have to break out of. And I think it's a mold that we can break out of with the power of love and coming together. Now, I'm not talking about false harmony or fake unity. It's not colorblindness or don't ask, don't tell. This is real, genuine relationship with all of humanity. That who we are is so intertwined that my justice depends on your justice. That my freedom depends on your freedom. And my life is connected to your life. Oh, how we have so much work to do. And yet, I've started to know the power of this love. On September 18th, 2018, I came out on social media. For friends who have done this before, you know how hard pushing that publish button is. For friends who haven't, it's really scary. It's really exciting, it's overwhelming, it's lonely. And yet, I decided to offer myself because look at that love and that joy, come on. It has to be shared, it's infectious. And I'm so glad that I did, because once we start building those muscles, we can't help but bring people in and get stronger and stronger together. And I needed that. Just a few months later, when the United Methodist Church decided on a global scale to not only keep but worsen their restrictions on gay marriage and queer ordination. In a matter of 3 days, 2 years of hard work and 10 years of a call from God disappeared. I felt for a moment that I was left with nothing, but then I got a text message and a phone call. And people who stopped by my grad school dorm, yes, I went to a grad school with dorms. And I realized that because I had offered part of my story and part of myself, I was not in this alone. Oh, the power we have in this common humanity, the power we have in love. So as I started to put myself back together and put the pieces together, I heard friends saying the same thing over and over again. Kelly, you have to go where you're taken care of. I don't know what it looks like for you, but you have to go where you're taken care of. So it's no coincidence then that the Presbyterian Church USA calls their ordination process being taken under care. And on June 13th of 2021, after a few more exams and committee meetings, I was ordained. This is a right bestowed on me that can never be taken away. This is a right that reminds me that I am loved and I am enough just as I am. And it is my life's duty to tell you the same exact truth. But the fun doesn't end there, right? Because life continues to throw us curveballs and things that we think we know that definitely get turned around so quickly. So I accepted a pastoral residency at a really large church. So excited to live into this concept of big tent theology. Everyone is welcome here. Everyone is appreciated. We want you. What they don't tell you about big tent theology is that sometimes people get pushed out on the side. Or we forget to bring you a chair. Or you sit right in that crevice where all of the rainwater pools together until the canvas can't hold, and you get soaked, and everyone else is dry. I was having a really hard time, and I had to name it for myself, and then I had a choice to make. I can stay in this toxic situation and keep my head down, finish the residency, and hope for the best in my next place. Or I can remember that muscle. So I shared with my best friend, and I said, this is what's going on. I'm having a really hard time. And then all of a sudden, I got the confidence to talk to a good friend at work, and then I got the confidence to talk to my supervisor, and things were happening. Because I was being seen. Friends, that's the power that we hold. To see one another, to hear one another, to validate one another. It should be noted that this story doesn't end perfectly. I would love to say that there was drastic change and wonderful inclusion and everything fantastic. But I made the choice to leave the church. And gosh, it was hard. But there's hope. There's hope that all of you decided to come spend just a couple minutes with us this evening on a Wednesday that started off really cold and ended up really hot. There is hope, friends, because it's not just my story that has bolstered my belief in this concept of common humanity. It's the stories that you're holding and those things that popped up in your mind the moment that I stepped out here. You know it. There is hope that we can, in fact, make the world a better place by including one another. When we're together, we are stronger. When we're together, our burdens are just a little bit lighter. When we're together, those loud voices telling us lies are so much softer. When we're together, we have power. Power to change the world. Now, my ultimate dream was to finish this lovely speech with a quote from that first sermon. Guys, it was terrible. So I'm not going to do that. But instead, I'll lean on better words than my own, the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu. He said, Ubuntu means the essence of being human. It's there, and you know it. And when it's not, you know it too. It encompasses courage and gentleness, vulnerability, our abilities to put ourselves out for the sake of one another. It has this magical tendency to balance compassion and toughness. I am a person because of other people. Friends, we have a power in our hands. Whatever your ministry looks like, let it be with love. And through all things, let us remember that we are not alone. The more we exercise that muscle, I believe, the better the world will be. Thank you so much.